Welcome back to another edition of Fly Tying for Beginners with Jim Misiura. Today we're going to tie a Sparkle Herl and Hen soft hackle. The hook I have in the vise is a standard wet fly nymph hook. This is a size 14 and is a barbless hook. I'm going to use this is a dark olive, but a dark color thread. This is 70 denier. I wouldn't necessarily use a black, but a dark brown or a dark olive like this would be good. We're going to put that, start that behind the eye, and we're going to bring this back to where a barb would be had there be one on there. We're going to hold that thread at a 45-degree angle, and that will give you a nice tight base layer. Go ahead and break that off. We're going to start with the tail, and we're going to use a dark, this is black crystal flash, a dark green crystal flash would be good. But I have 3 strands, and I have one that's longer than the other 2. We're going to tie them in. Secure them there. And now we're going to take the longer crystal flash. They could all be the same size, but the point is we're going to keep the long one and we're going to trim the 2 short ones. So I get that long one out of the way, and then take the 2 short ones and make that about 1/3 the body length. And that long one is going to act as our rib. I'm going to go a little bit shorter on them too. There we go. Now for the body, we're going to use 2 strands of Peacock herl. I'm going to tie these in by the tips. Check if your tips are brittle before you go tying them in, and you can just trim off a little bit of the tip to get to a stronger part. Then we're going to bring that thread up towards the eye of the hook, and you can stop that at about 1 eye length from the eye. We'll take our Peacock herl and go ahead and wrap that. If you want a little bit added security, you can put a little bit of head cement on the shank before you wrap your Peacock herl. And we're going to bring that forward. Bring that right up to the thread. We're about 1 eye length from the eye of the hook. Give that a couple of wraps. Fold it back and put a couple of wraps right in back of it. Then you can either break it off or use your poke and snip to remove that. And the poke and snip is just a cuticle trimmer. These are really nice. The poke and snip is really nice. You get nice tight snips with it. And when it gets dull, you just get a piece of sandpaper like 180 or a 200 and fold it in half and run it inside there to sharpen it. Now we're going to take our rib, or the long strand of crystal flash, and we're going to counter wrap. Counter wrap being the opposite direction you wrap your herl. And palmer that forward, nice barber pole. And about 4 wraps should get you to the top. Make sure you get about 2 wraps before you let go of your counter wrap, because it wants to go back and it's opposite direction of your thread, so it could come apart very easily. Go ahead and remove that. Now for our hackle, I have a natural speckled brown hen hackle. I'm going to take my hackle pliers and I'm going to grab just the tips of them. Once you get them in there, just take your fingers and go back with it. Now we're going to tie this on with the concave side, that's at this bottom, to the shank. And then we can trim off that excess. And once again, we're going to put our hackle pliers on the hackle. Don't pull too hard. Stroke those hackle fibers towards the rear. Make some nice tight hackle wraps there. Wrap that whole hackle. Then we're going to tie that off. And my hackle broke. Good thing I caught it. I have a few of them going forward. I'm just going to pull them towards the rear, away from the eye of the hook. Then I'm going to wrap back on this one, just one thread wrap back onto the hackle. Then you can form the head. Take your whip finish. Tug that up. Take that poke and snip. Just give it a poke and it breaks or cuts. Put a little drop of head cement on there. There's another wet fly. You're swinging it in the current, and be prepared for a good strong hit. This would work very well with a caddis hatch, especially that little bit of sparkle there. You could even use a pearl for your tail, look more like an air bubble if you want to use it in the caddis hatch. But here we have a sparkle Herl and Hen. Hope that you learned something from this video. Hope that you would subscribe to my channel. Please visit my sponsors, leave comments, questions, suggestions, and most of all, thank you very much for watching my videos.